Hey, what is up, guys? Oz here. This is a game where I go 127 kills, 1 death, ground war, kill confirmed. And I want to tell you guys about this setup because I personally have been finding a lot of success with it. I constantly get asked, Oz, what is your favorite gun in Black Ops 2? What do you like to use? Well, as much as you see me use the submachine guns, the only reason I use them is for the speed advantage and because they outclass most setups. But there is a counter to everything. My favorite gun in Black Ops 2 has always been the Scar H. I love the Scar H ever since day one. I just don't use it that often. I'm starting to use it a little more though because I found a setup that can beat out most submachine gun classes. And I actually introduced it to myself because I started using the Peacekeeper a lot, and the Peacekeeper really reminded me to slow down my playstyle. I use the Peacekeeper how you should use an assault rifle. You know, you could still be mobile, but just slow down a bit. That's how the assault rifles should be used best. You know, you see in this gameplay, although I am running around, the only reason I'm running around is because we have recon up in the air. You know, there's, VSATs and UAVs and stuff. So if I know the exact location of the enemy, then, obviously I can move around more. But if I didn't have those, then I would probably stay near my teammates. I would try to stick to longer range engagement situations where I have cover advantage, environment advantage, and just use the map to outsmart my opponent, basically, if you can call it outsmarting. The Scar, I like to use suppressor on it because it helps me manage my shots a little better. It keeps me off the mini map, keeps me hidden a little more. I want to meet enemies in my face. Like, I want people to come to me, but I don't want the entire team coming to me. So if I can, just get a steady flow of 1 to 2 enemies at all times, I'm good to go. But once you start running into like an entire team aiming down sight with sniper rifles, LMG target finders, and then you got SMG guys rushing you, you're gonna be toast. So again, I like to use suppressor. I like the FMJ because a lot of times people, when you use an assault rifle, you come up against a lot of head glitch versus head glitch gunfights. You have a lot of guys up in windows. Like, you turn a corner, there's a guy aiming down sight waiting on you. I like the FMJ because it's going to help me penetrate the walls. Like if a guy's in a window, maybe you could shoot through the bottom of the windowsill, and it'll just help me pick off people better. I just feel like the gun hits a little harder, helps me win those confrontations. And I like using select fire because it improves the accuracy of the Scar, and it doesn't. The Scar shoots fast enough with the burst that you don't really notice a difference. So if you can tap it like a foul, pop fire in the Scar Rage burst, you're gonna find that you can still handle people up close, but when you need distance, you can slow down the shots and you can conserve ammo, and it's really deadly. Really hard to stop the Scar. The Scar is one of the best weapons for select fire because of the damage. And here you see an example of the FMJ trying to shoot through the walls. If that guy would have jumped up in the corner, he would have been dead in 2 bursts. He wouldn't have stood a chance. The kill streak setup that I'm using something a little different, and this has become one of my more favorite setups for going for big games. It's using the escort drone with the Lodestar and the dogs. Previously, before the patch that came out that nerfed the Lodestar and the Swarm, I would use Lodestar, K9 with Swarm, and that was how I would get the most kills. The problem with the Swarm nowadays is it doesn't kill anybody, and it's kind of disappointing to see them completely nerf the Swarm like that. Lodestar still goes beast mode. Lodestar is great, but the Swarm it gets about half the kills that it normally would. It doesn't even kill anybody, so with the Swarm up, you think you can start rushing because the enemies are going to be dead in their spawn. No, they're not. They're sitting there hiding from it, and a lot of times they're spawning in and don't get killed for like 5 seconds after. So I've completely taken off the Swarm, so I probably won't be using Swarm too much in my gameplays anymore. I mean, for fucking, 1900 points to get, 8 kills? Nah, it's not worth it, dude. I'd rather slap on an escort drone, something that actually kills people when I rush in. And K9s still do a little bit of work. They're gonna get you somewhere around 10 kills, sometimes more, sometimes maybe 1 or 2 less, but they're pretty consistent. The Lodestar still guarantees you about 10 kills. It's really hard to shoot this thing down, and it's really easy to kill the enemies as they spawn in. So yeah, that's what I like for my kill streak setups. Let's see, what else can I give you some tips on? Oh yeah, as far as my perks, I know I talk about the gameplay a lot, guys, but I'm telling you guys, you gotta try this damn setup. Assault rifles, I never use ghosts. Reason being is because most of the time, like I said, they're supportive weapons. You want to use them that way. You don't need to stay off the minimap unless you're going to be behind the enemy in their spawn and you're focusing on flanking them. But with the assault rifles, I focus more on a head-up confrontation, using the environment to my advantage. So again, I use only hardline just to hit the score streaks faster. Then second tier, I'm using toughness. Toughness is going to help you win a lot of gunfights. You have no flinch. Very important when you're fighting someone one-on-one. You know, especially like when you're fighting cover to cover, the guy who's not flinching is going to win. Use scavenger because with this setup with the SCAR, you find you run out of ammo a lot. And then in the third tier, I'm using engineer. Reason for that is because I'm primarily fighting from distance, which means I'm not going to run into shock charges. I'm not going to get flashbang too often. So it's more important to locate the enemy's equipment. That way I know which way to move, I know which way to avoid. And if I shoot the equipment, I do have on FMJ. If I shoot the equipment, it'll give me an added 25 to 50 points extra added onto my score streak. So that's always a nice little bonus. So SCAR H, Select Fire, Suppressor, FMJ. SCAR H, Select Fire, the best burst weapon in the game, in my opinion. I like it better than the SWAT. I like it better than the M8. And I just feel like the M8 and the SWAT are specialty burst weapons. They really are only good from distance. And when you put on Select Fire for the SCAR, I almost said SWAT. When you put Select Fire for the SCAR, it hits just as hard from distance. Light years better up close. Way better iron sights. You never need a red dot for the SCAR. Iron sights are clear as day. And yeah, I mean, SCAR is just a badass weapon, dude. How can you hate on it? So if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and drop me a like rating. It's much appreciated. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think of this setup. Go ahead and try it out. Get back to me. Let me know. Always like to read your guys' comments. And we're closing in on 60,000 subs. Just want to shout out you subscribers out there. Thanks for following the live streams, checking them out. Thanks for all the support that you guys show on my videos. Love all you guys. Catch you next time. Peace.